Hey y'all, so I'm going to share with you guys my story of discovering God as rescuer. So I was raised in a Christian home, just always, but about the time that I got into middle school, I think was when God really had plans for me to know him personally beyond what my parents had taught me. And so I was pretty withdrawn as a kid. But I was withdrawn because I was focusing on not becoming a target, because kids can be super mean around that middle school age. And so, my biggest thing was to kind of become invisible because I didn't want someone to bully me or make fun of me or pick out an insecurity. But at the same time, I didn't really want to feel invisible. I kind of wanted to be heard. I wanted to matter. I wanted to count. And so there came this point where I was tired of being invisible and I wanted to be one of the cool kids and I wanted to be in the in crowd. And I really started to build this identity based on nothingness. It was like I finally felt cute and I was finally getting invited to like the hangouts, and I had all these friends when I had only had like 3, and just something just started to switch and to change. So while I was on top of the world, life suddenly started to happen. The jeans didn't fit, or the friends started talking about me behind my back, or stopped talking to me entirely. The guy messed over my feelings. All of that just betrayed me. And I just found myself bleeding out emotionally. I felt like I just did all of that, and here I am, lonelier than ever. Nobody sees me, nobody understands, nobody gets it. And I went for months like that, just like I said, bleeding out emotionally and feeling invisible, but even worse than before. And I remember getting to this point where I was like, if this is how life is going to be, I really don't know that I want to keep doing this. And I have this distinct memory of sitting on the floor in my younger sister's room, crying because it just feeling that abandoned and that forlorn was just too much. And I remember going, God, if you are real, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I need your help. I absolutely need your help. And so that was kind of like my like last ditch effort with God. Like, I'm gonna try it. We'll see if you're real. And the next day was a Sunday, and I went to church, and this lady at my church found me, and she was like, hey, I need you to listen to this CD. God told me to give this to you. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. That's fine, whatever, So I get home later that day. It was a Smokey Norfolk CD. And I started listening to it, and it was like, oh, okay. Then I got to this song called I Understand, and the song opens with Smokey Norfolk sort of talking about, I'm trying my best and nothing's working and nothing is going right. God, do you see me? Do you care? And then God responds, is like, I see you, I care, I'm preparing you for myself, hang in there. And I just broke. I just was like, everything that I feel, God, you just addressed. And in that moment, it was like, okay, if you're a God that hears me and sees me, then maybe you're a God that I can trust with my self-inflicted wounds, that I can trust with my ugliness, that I can trust showing like I built this lifestyle out of pride and arrogance and lust and all this other stuff. Maybe I can show you all of my nastiness and you'll still be faithful to love me. Maybe I can trust you. And so that began a series of days, weeks, and months of me turning myself inside out and being like, here's another thing, and here's another thing, and here's something else. And it was amazing to me to see God in stillness sometimes say nothing but just accept me, other times give me wisdom, and other times just comfort me, and other times show me where I got off and give me insight, and that began a journey from victim to being empowered to now overcoming. And so a lot of times people hear my story and they're like, you struggle with self-esteem, and like I just want you to sort of like sit with that thought that someone that you can't imagine having struggled with something coming this far away from it, because that's possible for you. It's possible to find yourself in a place where you think you'll never come back from. There's no turning back. There's no getting past this. And to be so delivered that people can't even tell that was something that you struggled with. And so I want my life and my story to be that encouragement for you, is for you to hope beyond where you are and beyond where the devil has lied to you and said you will always be, to know that God is greater, that he's a God that sees you, he's a God that hears you, and ultimately he is a God that delivers. And so trust him with that, bring that stuff to him, because he's faithful.